can't help being afraid.
Professor Fred's Movie Marvels is a show you must tune in. It's broadcast every week on SCCtv. It'll make you jump out of your skin. Professor Fred's Movie Marvels tonight. Greetings, students. I'm glad you made it back to class today, and welcome to Schlock Cinema 101. In case you've wandered into this class from some other outside, dormant, miasmatic, centerfoldish place, this is Schlock Cinema 101, and I am Professor Fred Hopkins, your veritable leader. And my duty, my goal, my responsibility is to discuss and teach you about discombobulatedly awful, terrible films from the 1950s and the 1960s. So glad you could make it. Our especially bad film that we have today on our discombobulated dialectical schedule is the 1959 terror shocker Beast from Haunted Cave, directed by Monty Hellman. Astute, auspicious, and perspicacious students might remember that Monty Hellman was one of the uncredited directors of an earlier film we showed, The Terror, nominally directed by Roger Corman and actually directed by Jack Hill, Francis Ford Coppola, and Monty Hellman, several other people, including Jack Nicholson. If you ask Monty Hellman what Beast from Haunted Cave is about, he would tell you that it's kind of like Key Largo with snow and a monster added. And that pretty well sums it up. As for his career, Monty Hellman went on to direct a sort of famous spaghetti western called China 9, Liberty 37 with Warren Oates, and Jenny Agutter, who was kind of an Australian actress who had been in Outback and many films like that. He kind of, I think Monty Hellman's most recent film is Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. And that's sort of the last one that I've heard of him doing. But we'll get more, discuss in more discombobulated detail Monty Hellman's career. But let's talk about our movie, Beast from Haunted Cave. The plot of Beast from Haunted Cave is as follows. A group of motley and sort of culturally deprived thieves led by actor Frank Wolf decide to rob a Deadwood City, South Dakota mining office. And they're after all kinds, hundreds and hundreds of gold bars. And why they're there, nobody knows. But in order for the thieves to rob the mining office, they have to create a distraction. So they bring in all this TNT and they blow up a local cave. They totally discombobulate and dismember and blow up this cave. After they've done that and successfully distracted the authorities and gotten away with the gold bars, they hire Gil, played by actor Michael Forrest, who was in many Roger Corman films, who's a local, somewhat complacent ski instructor, to take them on a cross-country ski trip out in the country so they can lay low in a cabin until the heat cools down and they can get away with their gold bars. Sadly, all does not go well for Frank Wolf and his gang and the ski instructor, Gil, played by Mike Forrest. What happened is when they set off the explosion in that nearby mining cave or whatever, it upset a beast. And the beast is this horrible spider-like insect-type monster. And they really get him mad because they blew up his house in order to rob their pathetic mining office. So apparently, and there's no real clear explanation given, but it looks like the beast, this huge spider-like, octopus-like creature, kind of follows the crooks and Gil, the skiing instructor, out to their cabin and takes up a new lair, a new abode or residence, if you will, in a haunted cave. And he's still mad. He's still harboring this grudge. He's not in touch with his inner feelings. So what he does is he starts to cocoon people, bring them in and then shoot them with this weird sticky stuff and make them into cocoons, and then he sucks their blood at his own leisure. And this definitely causes problems and hurts and offends a lot of people. Well, with no place to live, the beast decides to just just kind of hang and be cool and just wait for people to stumble out and stragglers, and then he cocoons them and throws them into his cave. And that's sort of the plot of the movie. The film, though, is not your standard grim, macho B-movie stuff, and the henchmen are not your standard stereotype, grim, B-movie, macho henchmen. There's two henchmen in this, two crooks. Richard Sinatra, who's a real-life cousin of Old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra, and Wally Campo, again, who's in many Roger Corman films. They're both kind of funny, kind of likable, and it's not really your standard film noir kind of stuff. So they're a lot of fun, but the most impressive actress and really actor of the whole movie is the woman who plays the Mall. The Mall is played by actress Sheila Carroll, and her name is Gypsy Boulet, and she's a sexy, martini-swilling hipster who falls for the hunky ski instructor, portrayed by Michael Forrest. And her whole performance in the movie is just incredible. We first see her on the chairlift as she's, mixing up a martini, and of course that wouldn't be allowed under current regulations, but that's what she does. And her infatuation, Gypsy's infatuation with Gil, the ski instructor, is what creates sort of a dramatic, ironic, discombobulated tension between Frank Wolf, the gangster, and Michael Forrest. And that makes everyone in the film and the entire plot unravel in a very uneasy and edgy fashion. Let alone, let's not even think about the beast, but I mean the tension there created by Gypsy and her sexy amorality, but her heart of gold is what really creates the film's dynamic dynamism. All right, students, are you ready for our first pop quiz of the class? And that is as follows. Michael Forrest, who plays Gil, the hunky ski instructor in the movie, was also in a very, very famous Star Trek episode, playing a pretty famous character. I mean, for you Trekkies out there, you should know this one right away, but that is our question. Give me the answer as to what was the name of the episode in Star Trek in which Michael Forrest starred, and what was the character that he played. You Trekkies are, the hardcore Trekkies should get it right away, but maybe the less committed, the more discombobulated, dilatory, and pretender Trekkies might have to turn on their computer memory bank. Well, enough of that. I've given you plenty of food for thought, and you can munch on that while watching the first part of this movie. Are we ready for Beasts from Haunted Caves? Igor, roll it!
Let it come out. Not bad. I got one more shot to get up here. Get your skis and meet me at the lift.
always does what?
Whatever he wants. Yes, sir, Mr. Alexander Ward is a very capable gent. Don't you, ever get thirsty?
Not at 10 in the morning.
Well, it was exactly at 10 a.m. that Mr. Martini invented the olive.
That was terrific. Just terrific. Feels just like you're flying and you could keep on going forever.
What a perfectly delightful idea.
Soused already?
Still, are you, ready for the Olympics yet?
Gypsy, you really ought to try it. It's a brand new feeling.
You mean I've missed one?
Had enough for today? Yes, Gil. I'm expecting Mr. Smith and Mr. Jones. They've been out seeing the sights.
I hope the sights are tied down.
Well, Mr. Jones and Mr. Smith want to take a lesson today? Yes, I think
They'll probably be wanting to take one all night.
Well, I doubt that. There's a cougar on a rampage in this area.
I don't think I'd be frightened with you around. Mr. Jackson looks as though he could take care of anything, doesn't he, Alex?
Happiness Lodge. Your place is well named, Gil. Thanks. I like it. Mighty hard place to get to, though. I like that, too.
I bet you're hard to get to.
Well, Gil. Hi, boss.
Have a good time?
Good enough, boss.
Boy, this place is great. We went through a barn full of horses, and we took Polaroid pictures of people skiing and fishing. Oh, yeah, and we found the mine.
Gypsy and I are going back to the lodge. I think it might be a good idea for you two to stay up here and let Mr. Jackson show you the ropes.
He'll need one to hold him up.
They'd better learn if we're going to make that cross-country run tomorrow.
Drop by the lodge later. I'd like to take a look at those pictures.
Right, boss.
Let's go, Gypsy. What are you trying to do? Make that yokel suspicious?
Did I say something wrong, my sweet?
Someday I'm going to shut that pretty little mouth of yours for good.
Promises. Nothing but promises.
Well, that's fine. Both doing very well. It's just a matter of practice. You'll get plenty of that tomorrow in the cross country.
Listen, Gil, when you make that turn, how do you do that thing you told us about?
You've been doing pretty well.
Yeah?
It's a question of getting your weight distributed over the skis in the right way.
Is it okay if I leave these here till tomorrow? I'll wear the boots.
That'll be fine.
Is that your dog?
Yes. He's half mine.
Will he bite me if I pet him?
No, he's very affectionate.
Well, they say a dog always mirrors his master.
Co-master.
Oh, excuse me, co-master. What's your name?
Jill.
Oh, how do you do? My name's Jack.
Oh, really?
No, I was only kidding. It's Marty. How long have you been here?
All my life.
No, I mean here at the ski shop.
I started this year. You've never skied before?
Oh, yeah, I've skied. I'm just, kind of brushing up. It's funny, every time I look at you, I smile.
Did I tell you I knitted this sweater?
It's a great color. What is it?
Cedar brown.
Funky color. Will you knit me one?
You'll have to get in line.
I mean, do you like to knit? Is that your scene?
I like to do things with my hands. I'm going to take up painting when I get the nerve.
All you have to do is to start painting.
But I don't know anything about it.
Well, you don't have to know anything about it. All you have to do is to do it. Well, who knew anything when they first started painting?
What if it's bad?
Well, it's not bad or good. If it's what you like to do, do it.
Really?
I wish I had known that about 6 years ago. I wanted to do something, but I was afraid.
You shouldn't smoke, you know. It's bad for your lungs.
How old are you?
I don't like to tell. How old do you think I am?
20. 19.
How old are you?
How old do you think I am?
25.
27. You're not married, are you?
No,
Would you like to have dinner?
I don't know you.
You got a boyfriend?
No. I have to cook dinner every night for my brother.
Well, that's okay. I'll give him a quarter to go to the movies.
Hi, Jill. I see you met Mr. Jones.
Call me Marty.
Hi, Gil. Vincent's my brother.
Well, I think I better give him a buck.
I'm taking Mr. Jones and his friends on a cross-country trip to the cabin tomorrow. We'll be leaving pretty early in the morning, so you and I will have to go over those orders tonight. Sorry, Jill.
Sure, Gil.
Jill and Gil, that's kind of cute.
We don't have much imagination around these parts. But I guess Gil and Jill is about as original as Mr. Smith and Mr. Jones.
Attention. We have another patrolman at the bottom of number 1 chair. Right down.
Oh, give me a home where the weightless is warm, where the rough and the rugged ones play. When never is good and is given his word, and we'll put remote in this.
Quiet!
You don't have to yell.
I said shut up!
Think he's okay, boss?
You could have gotten some more of the mine area. What's the vault like?
A cracker box with an iron door.
Fine. Well, boys, I think we got a classic going here. Marty, tonight you're going to go up and plant the charges in the mine, right?
Righto.
Tomorrow morning at 8:30, Gypsy is going to take the cowboy up on the ski lift to get him out of the way. At 9 o'clock, the mine blows, and everybody runs to see the disaster.
It'll look big.
Then we move into the administration building, make the heist, grab the ski lift, and meet the other two at the top for the trip.
Simple.
Simple as you, boy.
So then we wait at Jackson's cabin till Tatzer shows with the plane, right?
Right. Come in. Hello, Gil.
Hi. How are the leg muscles?
Oh, they're a little sore, but I think they're going to be all right.
Good. Say, I need about $20 for supplies.
Marty?
I'd like you to reconsider taking this cross-country run. It's 2 days to the cabin. If anything happens, we're out of luck.
Well, don't worry. If Byron breaks a leg, we can always shoot him.
Hiya, Jackson. Did you get that cougar?
Well, not yet, Miss Boulet. I'll see you later.
Won't you have a drink with us?
Mr. Jackson has to get things ready for the trip tomorrow. We'd like to leave between 8 and 8:30. Is that all right, Gil?
That's fine. I'll see you later.
People like that really exist?
Not for you, Charles.
Not for me, Charles, because I'm with you, Sam.
You said it, Jane.
Look at all the happy little people enjoying their freedom. Do-si-do and round we go.
What kind of freedom is that? They're all tied down to their petty little futures.
Might be nice to have a future, even a petty little one.
What's bugging you, Charles? Don't you like the setup anymore?
Anymore, it's been a long time.
What's wrong? Nothing's changed.
Maybe I have, Charles.
What's with your friends? They're spending.
Scotch on the rocks, 3 bourbons with branches, 1 daiquiri, and 2 gin fizzes. Hi, Gil.
Hi, Natalie.
like a little dance.
Just stay put, Charles.
Howdy, cowboy.
Howdy yourself. Where's Natalie? Was here a minute ago.
Come on, Major Boy, I want to dance.
Wait a minute, what goes on behind that big silent face of yours?
Nothing clever enough to interest you, I'm afraid.
Well, we don't have to be clever all the time. I can talk about the important things like nature. What do you think of nature, Gil?
I guess it's pretty natural.
Do you have a girl?
2 or 3.
Well, I don't think that's enough.
Hey, what's that in there?
Part of the broken boot line.
Oh, yeah? Let's go take a look.
Nothing to see this time of night. Besides, it's kind of spooky in the dark. And there's been this big cat around.
Well, this, baby will take care of any little, pussycats.
How come you pack a gun?
Well, Gil Jackson told me about the cougar. Well, take a look. Come on.
What are you going to do now?
I've never seen a gold mine before. I want to take a look. Come on. You wait here a minute.
Down there?
Uh-huh.
Is that pretty blonde woman your wife?
She's my boss's, secretary.
Oh, I get it. She sure can do her share of drinking.
You sure can do your share of talking.
the days of blind dates and bobby socks. Chocolate balls.
Have you seen Natalie? Who? The dark-haired girl that serves drinks here.
No. I used to be a dark-haired girl. I'm still serving.
She was here an hour ago.
Sorry, I can't help you. Can't even help myself.
Be back in a minute. What's the matter with you? Something go wrong? Come on, talk.
I told you.
You told me nothing.
I told you.
Did you set the charges? At 9 o'clock? I mean, what's bugging you?
You killed that good-looking chick.
What chick?
Natalie.
You mean the girl that works in the bar? You took that girl.
What happened to him?
Stupid idiot.
I know all that.
He took the barmaid to the mine and somehow managed to let her get knocked off.
Knocked off. She's dead? The dark-haired girl?
I don't know. Maybe the cougar got her.
It wasn't any cougar. I saw this thing and I saw this egg right down in the shaft where I planted the charge.
Alex, are you going to blow up that mine tomorrow?
At 9 o'clock. That means that you and Nature Boy will be at the top of the ski lift at 8:30.
You're going to blow up that mine, kill all those people. Alex, you're nothing but a mass murderer. Just let you bars go.
Tomorrow's Sunday, nobody works.
You all set for the big adventure?
You certainly look bright and shiny this morning.
You expecting maybe a hangover?
Certainly not a girl from a soap commercial. Good morning.
Is it that time already?
You were the one that said 8.
I must have been out of my mind.
I just checked on Marty and Byron. They're still out.
Look, why don't you two go on up to the ski lift? The boys and I'll have breakfast and join you later.
No last chance to talk you out of this?
What are the state police doing way up here?
Oh, Natalie, the cocktail waitress, took off last night. Hasn't been seen since.
Oh, I see. Well, look, why don't you two get started and we'll join you in about half an hour, okay?
Okay. Move there.
Shall we all? Stay with me!
Wait till you get to the top.
It's starting.
The worst part of the trip's over.
Night
should be heading back. That's the way to my cabin.
Looks cold and desolate.
It is.
Let's go.
Look at all that gold. Hey, can we take more than 6?
2 apiece. That's all we can handle.
Well, what do you think of me?
What do you mean?
Well, this is the first time you've seen me sober, isn't it?
I'm paid to teach people how to ski, not to think about them.
I'm always making scenes like that one last night. Don't you ever make scenes, Gil?
I try not to.
Well, you don't have to. You can go away to your cabin and burrow in the snow. Some people have all the luck.
I think you make your own luck.
I know you're wrong. Your luck makes you. I was real lucky once, and look what it did. Got a cigarette?
Come on, get with it.
I got 64% antifreeze in my veins.
You talk like a faded woman regretting a misspent life.
Well,
Here goes the roller coaster. Here goes the roller coaster. Woo-hoo! Oh, little lady.
how old are you, Gil?
30.
30. You like to ski. You like to be alone. Things about the same for you as they were 10 years ago, right?
Pretty much.
10 years ago, I was, 16. 10 million years ago.
You must have done a lot.
I've done everything.
So I have my whole life ahead of me. And yours is all used up.
Not quite. Here comes the rest of mine on that chairlift.
Let's go.
Hail, the gang's all here.
Are you sure you know what you're in for? This cross-country ski run is something I've been dreaming about ever since I was a little kid.
When will you have a little kid, Charles?
Everybody stick close and follow my lead. Okay, Gil. Here we go.
here for tonight?
Oh!
Go to places we're going to find.
I've never been so tired in all my life.
Not me. I feel wonderful.
I got just the thing to fix you up.
Yeah, what?
We need firewood.
Ah!
What's wrong with you? We're being followed. What's eating you?
Hey, you gotta forget that girl.
I'm not thinking about her.
What are you thinking about?
The thing that got her. Now, it saw me and it means to get me. And that's what's been following us.
You're a bundle of cheer.
You better snap out of it fast, smart boy.
Yeah, sure. You know, day after tomorrow, Tash is gonna come out here with a ski plane, and we're off to Canada to spring a loose.
You knock off the funny talk with nature, boy.
Can't stop me from talking.
Don't tempt me.
Nothing. Go back to sleep.
Why don't you turn in? I'll take the rest of your watch.
Nobody takes my watch. I still got 2 hours left to go, and I don't want to be a burden on anybody.
Finish your watch, and I'm going back to the sack.
Anybody that wants to stand watch has got to be a kook.
I'm going back to sleep before the next thrilling episode.
Are you sure you're all right? I don't
I
mind.
told you I'll take the watch.
Anyway, this is a wonderful movie, and I'm glad we've ended right here on this clip of Natalie being taken by the monster, because later I would advise all my students to keep their pencils ready, because Small Dove later, when some of these people are confronted by the monster and a rescue party is attempted, Small Dove points towards Natalie and says, "Her mind is gone." So stay tuned for that. Other interesting things about the movie is, again, it was a 1959 film, Beast from Haunted Cave. It co-stars Richard Sinatra as the henchman who's Natalie is the girlfriend of, and Richard Sinatra was a cousin of Old Blue Eyes, Frank Sinatra. And it's funny that this film sort of has a kidnap plot, and just a scant 4 years later, Richard Sinatra's nephew, Frank Sinatra's son, Frank Sinatra Jr., was kidnapped. And actually, the guy who did that is now long out of prison and is in L.A. and just turned out a book about it. It's kind of interesting. Kind of a totally, talk about a discombobulated idea. Another interesting point is that I met Michael Forrest, the star of this movie, who plays Gil, the instructor, down in Hollywood about a year ago. He's a totally cool guy. He's, gee, I don't know, maybe early 60s, mid 60s. I think he was quite young when he was in these movies. And awfully friendly, did a lot of cool things. And he was in Roger Corman's Atlas, where he plays Atlas, you know, the legendary strongman. And oddly enough, the gangster in this movie, portrayed by Frank Wolf, is also in Atlas, playing like an evil king. So it's almost the same dynamics as this movie. Another interesting point about Beast from Haunted Cave is that it was filmed back-to-back with another Roger Corman film called Ski Troop Attack, also from 1959, and, I bet you guessed this already, starring the exact same cast of characters, almost playing the exact same roles. Ski Troop Attack is about an American ski troop, and I'm not sure how many American ski troops there were during World War II, but this is one of them, and they were sort of holed in a cabin. And instead of having Gil, the ski instructor, they've got this kind of evil German ski troop officer with them, you know, and the idea is like what they should do with him. And it's the same kind of real kind of pissed off Key Largo kind of scenario. When I talked with Michael Forrest down in Hollywood, I asked him, because I'd heard a lot of stories about Beast from Haunted Cave, what it was like, and he said it was very, very cold, and that they weren't provided with, you know, a lot of heating implements, so everyone was very cold, and that they used the local high school ski patrol to do the filming sequences. But I guess when the ski patrol realized that they weren't going to be paid, they skied off. So that's why in both Ski Troop Attack and in this movie, Beast from Haunted Cave, you don't see much skiing after the first half of the movie. That's because the ski patrol left. Just to do a further wrap-up on this film's distinguished cast and distinguished crew, the movie was written by Charles B. Griffith, who did many, many Roger Corman films, including the sort of celebrated Not of This Earth and, of course, the classic Little Shop of Horrors and Bucket of Blood. It was also produced by Gene Corman, Roger's brother, as were many of Roger Corman's movies, on a shoestring 12-day shooting schedule. And it was released 3 years later to television with added footage shot by Hellman. And I assume, given the way these kind of films work, that added footage was more scary, goopy monster footage. Also, the really discomboobratedly cool part of this movie is all the beatnik lingo. Now, down in Hollywood, I've met Ed Kooky Burns, and I wrote an interview with him, and he told me, you know, and he was, you know, Kooky, you know, from 77 Sunset Strip, and Kooky Lend Me Your Comb, and all kinds of recordings as that. And when I had lunch with him at Musso and Frank's, the legendary Hollywood eating establishment where Rita Hayworth and everybody else was discovered, he told me, he said, Fred, that was all scripted, down to the very comma. Every single bit of beatnik lingo was scripted. Now, I don't know if that was true in this movie or not, but the beatnik lingo in Beast from Haunted Cave is very, very cool, and you'll see such great lines as Richard Sinatra saying, "Knitting, is that your scene?" And all kinds of other cool beatnik phrases that you'll see throughout the movie. A lot of fun. The ski outfits are so retro, they're almost back in now. And I've got to tell you that I have not skied since 1967, but last week I went again. And we are in the new millennium now, and everything's changed. Skis are shorter, but people look exactly like they do in this movie. Another interesting thing is if you look at Frank Wolf playing the lead gangster, you'll notice that he kind of resembles 70s and 80s and 90s actor Richard Dreyfuss, especially when he's got his dark glasses on inside the cabin. So check to see if you see any similarities there. Hey, I almost forgot about the pop quiz, in which case you'd have all got incomplete. So let's do it right now. You remember before the last break, I asked you, what was the name of the character that Michael Forrest played in a Star Trek episode, and what was the name of that Star Trek episode? Did everybody get it? Of course you did. Michael Forrest portrayed the character Apollo in the 1967 Star Trek episode, Who Mourns for Adonis? And in that episode, he played a really annoying, condescending, starchy super being who thinks he's Apollo, and he comes on holds the Star Trek crew hostage or some such thing, and makes a pass for a girl who Scotty is hot for. So anyway, that was called Who Mourns for Adonis, and Michael Forrest played Apollo. And why don't we discuss in more discombobulated detail the career of actor Michael Forrest. Again, an extremely nice guy who I met in Hollywood about a year ago. Still looks great, still acting. Kind of lean, mean kind of guy, very, very nice, and still a very, very powerful and good actor. He was born in Harvey, South Dakota, but he actually lived in Seattle, Washington, and attended the University of Washington. In 1955, he headed south to Hollywood, starred in various stage plays and TV until he met Gene Corman, who starred him in his brother Roger's incredibly bad 1957 film, The Saga of the Viking Women and Their Voyage to the Waters of the Great Sea Serpent. That stars an awful lot of Roger Corman people like Jonathan Hayes, the star of Little Shop of Horrors. And they have all told me that that was a very difficult film to work with. It was filmed in Catalina, right off Los Angeles. The water was very cold, and they all wore kind of horsehair, lamb hair, Viking outfits. And they were required to go into the water, which Roger Corman did not tell anybody that these, gigantic 100-pound coats would soak up water, so it was almost impossible to come up from the water once you were in it. And many of the people narrowly averted kind of discombobulated drownings, but they all got out okay. But a lot of people on that film had bad feelings about it. I don't remember what Michael Forrest had to say about it. He was an extremely amiable and is a very nice guy. You might also have seen him, if you looked really fast, in the very recent Tom Hanks film Castaway, where Michael Forrest plays the pilot of the ill-fated FedEx plane. Well, the results of our last pop quiz were incredibly incredible, and you all got 100%, so I'm going to lay the second pop quiz on you. Monte Hellman, the director of Beast from Haunted Cave and also one of the directors of our earlier film, The Terror, directed a 1971 road picture about a cross-country race or a cross-country odyssey. It was sort of a beat kind of thing. I'm not sure anybody really knows what it was about. But there was a lot of hoopla when it was released, and it starred two very, very famous rock and roll musicians at the time. So what I need for you to do is to tell me the name of that 1971 Monte Hellman road picture, and then for extra credit, give me the names of the two rock and roll musicians who starred in it. All right, well, I think we're about ready to go. Enough mindless, idle, discombobulated chatter. Let's get back to our movie. Get your pencils out and answer that pop quiz number 2. Everybody strapped in? Igor, roll it.
Tracks. I've never seen anything like it before. Must have passed through here during the night.
You were on guard last night. What happened?
Nothing you can handle.
What kind of an answer is that? You were on guard all last night. Did you see something or didn't you?
What I saw you wouldn't believe.
Look, I'm getting sick and tired of this. What did you see last night?
Nothing.
Maybe I can help you to remember.
Oh, that would be nice. We could take turns sitting up with him and his friend. Come on, Alex, let's go.
like a nice place. Maybe we'll stay. We should head back before dawn if we're going to make a campsite by nightfall.
Tomorrow?
Oh, isn't that the idea? Well, Gil, we're all a little tired. Couldn't we stay over a day and rest? It's fine with me. I'd like you to meet my housekeeper. Massacre! It's an animal! Help! As I was starting to say, I'd like you to meet my housekeeper, Small Dove. How do you do, Small Dove?
How do you do? You'll have to forgive my son. His head was run over by horses last week.
Time for chow. Say, Gil, tell me something. How much land you got here?
Oh, about 20 acres.
Does this lake get pretty solidly frozen over?
Yeah, it's pretty frozen, but I wouldn't try walking on it.
Say, Gil, how much money can you make as a ski instructor?
Well, you can't make as much money here as you could at a place like Aspen, but I get by.
Will you make enough money to live on and be happy?
Well, sure. You can't base happiness on the amount of money you make. Well, I'm not knocking money, but there are other things. Besides, I got this property and the ski shop.
Well, basically, you do pretty good.
That works out okay.
And nobody's your boss.
Well, nobody tells me what to do, if that's what you mean.
Well, don't you have to keep pushing? Don't you feel like taking it easy?
Well, I like what I'm doing. I think that's about as easy as you can take it. We better go on in. Small Dove's probably got dinner ready.
I think I know why Byron eats like that.
Why is that?
He has to keep himself stuffed to prevent his brain from slipping down his throat into his stomach.
Now let's pause for a brief look at the news. The biggest story to hit the Black Hills since the murder of Wild Bill Hickok was Sunday's sensational robbery at the Broken Boot Mine in Deadwood.
What?
Authorities believe the bandits could not have left the vicinity by the single daily train and therefore must be hiding out somewhere in the area. Police also believe that the simultaneous mine explosion in which watchman Leonard Wilsey lost his life was in some way connected with the robbery, perhaps as a diversion. In a moment, the weather.
Can you beat that?
It must have happened right after we left.
Yes, so we'd have heard about it.
The weatherman says snow and heavy overcast for Deadwood and Lead all day Tuesday, with strong winds Wednesday, possibly clearing Thursday. And now, back to
Gil.
music in a mellow mood.
Will the weather be the same here as it is in town?
Just about.
I hope it clears for the trip back.
Better clear tomorrow.
Why tomorrow? We're staying here, remember?
What do you do up here on these long winter nights, Gil?
Read, mostly.
What kind of stuff?
Sometimes I just flip open the encyclopedia. Something interesting on almost every page.
Don't you ever have a yen to cut out and make the big city?
What for?
Well, it's living.
Really? I went to San Francisco once. I was there for about a week. I think I saw just about everything there was to see in that length of time.
Didn't like it?
Oh, no, it was wonderful. But there's something about these mountains and trees, wind, that makes everything else kind of insignificant.
Well, I guess it takes all kinds.
It's your turn, Mountain Man. Man, Mountain Man. I think you're lovely.
Please forgive my outburst, Gil. I'm afraid I have a bad temper.
I can't say much for any of you.
You know how much trouble I've had from this broad.
Nice going.
Don't step out of line, cowboy.
For the moment, you're a guest here. I'll thank you to keep your hands off Miss Boulet.
I'll treat my secretary any way I feel like it. You can keep your nose out of it.
Unless you want a 38 caliber nose job.
Where are you going?
It'd be fun taking care of that joker.
Nothing moves till the plane gets here. And I'll take care of it myself. But if you're not doing anything, you can go outside and build a fire. Keep it going. Just in case that idiot Tasker tries to come in ahead of the storm.
Gypsy?
Thanks for the big try, Galahad. Fortunately, I do that sort of thing all the time. Alex had a perfect right to slap me. Maybe I'll kill him someday, but I can't blame him for being sore.
Why don't you get out?
That's what I keep telling myself. But I know I'll never have the guts. I've become part of Alex. Maybe a sick part, but a permanent one.
What are you really afraid of?
I was an underpaid model in a wholesale house. And I met Alex. He was young and loaded. I liked the way he pushed me around. I liked it then. And now it's too late to go back. And I don't know if I really want to go back. I don't know what I want. But I know I'd rather have Alex than nothing at all.
You're selling yourself short.
Well, there's a law of supply and demand, mister. And I don't hear any bidders.
Maybe I can let it go for tonight. There's something out there.
Hey, take it easy, huh?
Sorry, baby. I'm not Florence Nightingale.
These backwoods stations have any news during the night?
Why are you so concerned with the news?
It affects business.
There's a threat of war. People stop buying fireworks. What's it to you?
In a moment, the weather. which leads them to believe they are still in the area. There are no further clues. On the weather picture, forecasters warn that the new low moving in from Canada will bring blizzards to portions of the Dakotas sometime before Wednesday noon. In other parts of the country...
Blizzards? What's your worry? It might not come anywhere near here. Meanwhile, we can take it easy. Or are you in a hurry to get somewhere? What's that supposed to mean? Just a question.
There you go, all fixed up.
Thanks, Jan.
Huh?
Hot milk and graham crackers.
For me?
You were very brave.
Any better?
Never better.
It was a pretty dumb stunt you pulled.
I pulled it on my own time.
What time? You've got a 24-hour-a-day job.
Yeah? Well, my business with that baby outside is strictly personal. It's the most personal thing that's ever happened to me.
So far.
Any more questions?
Take him to bed.
Well, how many people do you have working for you in Chicago?
Oh, about 200. Why?
You must have quite a turnover. Good night.
Looking for Tasser? He won't try to make it with a storm coming up.
Doesn't make any difference anyway. Let's take a walk.
Work is a beautiful thing when somebody else is doing it.
You should try it sometime.
Hey, give me the axe.
Probably chop your leg off.
Oh, it's a leg one way or the other.
Well, it wouldn't matter if it was just any old leg.
I didn't think you'd notice. Gil, I'm beginning to understand how you feel about this place.
It's comfortable and warm. At night, I like to listen to the wind trying to get in.
You think it ever will?
Not while I've got two hands to hold it back.
Gil, they're going to kill you. You don't seem very surprised.
No, I'm not. How do they figure to get out of here?
There's a plane coming. It was due this morning.
Probably delayed by the weather.
Then we were going to go to Canada.
We're going?
I would like to stick around if you'd have me.
I haven't really thought about it.
It's not true.
Well, maybe not completely.
Well, I didn't know anything about that killing until I heard it over the radio.
You don't know me, and I don't know you at all. You got it in your mind you want to return to nature, and I'm part of it. But what happens when you get bored?
How do you know what I think?
I don't know. I wish I did. I know one thing for sure. I'm sending Small Dove back to her relatives. And I'm heading back to blow the whistle on your friends. If you still want to come along, meet me between 6 and 6:30 on the ridge where we first saw the cabin.
young-looking woman, that small dove. Big vulture. Too bad we have to kill her.
Why knock her off? I kind of like that hefty old squaw.
Fantastic comes she goes, along with Marty and the cowboy.
Marty sure is flip.
He's dangerous.
You really think he saw something?
Yeah, pig snowman.
Hey, boss, I found it.
Found what?
The Cougar's cave.
More than 50 people paid their last respects to Leonard Wilsey, who was tragically killed in the mine explosion last Sunday. And that's the news up to 5 o'clock.
Where's Davy Crockett?
He went hunting.
Hunting at night?
Left about 4, hunting a deer.
Venison. Sounds great.
When was the last time we had venison, Alex?
2 years ago at the Key Club.
At the Key Club. Chicago. You can only afford venison on your birthday, Alex. Out here, all it takes is a sense of nature and a strong hand on the trigger.
We're running off at the mouth tonight. Why don't you drink and get fractured? It'd be normal.
What did we do on my birthday that year, Alex?
Your birthday?
When is my birthday, Alex? Can't remember. Well, that year we spent my birthday in Florida. Pulled a bankroll robbery at the Miami Fireworks Company.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Got 150 grand and put the Southern competition out of business.
Many happy returns.
They're acting mighty peculiar tonight.
What are we going to do after this job, Alex?
Oh, same things we always do. Why?
I've got an idea. Why not retire?
Retire?
You're a rich man, Alex. Pick the bones of 1,000 boobs who happen to have enough money to catch her eye. They don't have to take chances anymore. Why not quit?
Sure, I'm a rich man, Charles. You're living high because of it. I picked the bones of 1,000 boobs, and I'll pick the bones of 1,000 more because they are boobs, and they deserve exactly what they get.
That old man deserved what he got.
Every day, some old man steps in front of a car. I'll send flowers, but I'll never quit.
Well, that's that.
Here's a late highway warning. The west side of Strawberry Canyon Road is now closed and will be for at least another hour. Motorists are again warned not to drive unless absolutely necessary.
I guess it
Storm
is.
is expected to last through the night. And now a request for Mrs. Bertie Arnold in Deadwood from the Music Memory Album.
Where are you going, Charles?
For a walk, Charles.
Follow it.
Hey, boss, I just figured it out. It's Pa.
What's Pa?
Him against the wall. It's been driving me crazy.
Get out of here. Pa.
Where's she going?
To be away.
I gotta follow her.
No, you stay with me.
Hey, wait, this ain't no time for romance. Look, sweetheart, I gotta follow her. The boss told me to.
Thank you for waiting.
Thanks for coming.
You really mean that?
I usually mean what I say.
How do you know I'm not just trying to save my own skin?
It's easier for you to tell Alex and let him finish me.
It would have been easier, but it would have been impossible.
We better get started before the blizzard. It's a long way back.
Snap out of it, Byron. Snap out of it.
I see that you gentlemen have changed your ideas about my eyesight.
Shut up.
It got small now.
Well, maybe it'll be satisfied with it.
Not by a long shot. It knows who it's after.
We gotta do something.
We'll do nothing but stay put. It hasn't tried to get into the cabin yet. As a matter of fact, it ran from us.
It didn't run from us. It ran from the fire that Byron threw at it.
Well, it doesn't make any difference. What chased it away? We're out here on a job. We can't afford to have any nightmares.
Okay. I never saw such an animal. What is it?
I saw pieces of an egg in the mine where it got Natalie. Now, that could have been buried there for millions of years until the men working on the mine found it.
I don't care what it is. I don't care if it chews up the whole state. I don't care if it came from Mars or happened by spontaneous combustion. We're going to Canada with a load of gold, so forget it.
You'll get us.
It'll get nothing.
You got small, Dove. Probably get Gypsy, too.
Gypsy. Where is she?
I saw her leaving on her skis.
Cowboy didn't come back yet either.
Gypsy and the cowboy. They deserve each other.
Where do you think they went?
Probably went back to town.
I'm going to get some soup.
Should probably tell him about the robbery.
I'll get the skis ready.
We never catch him now.
What are we going to do?
I'll probably run into that blizzard pretty soon. And I'll either have to hole up or turn back.
There's a giant cave right near here. That's the only place they can hole up.
How do you know about the cave?
That's where I followed the cougar.
All right. That's right.
Can we beat the storm?
Not a chance.
Well, what do we do?
We'll have to turn back.
I knew it was too good to be true. I knew I'd never get away.
Now, don't worry. We're not whipped yet. I know of a haunted cave not far from here. If you're not afraid of ghosts, we'll wait there till the storm blows over.
Anytime your broomstick is ready.
Hey, Byron, knock it off. Hey, meathead, I'm hungry.
Can't hear you, boss.
Why not?
He left?
Huh? Where would that imbecile go?
Don't ask me, boss. Maybe he's chasing that Indian squaw.
Oh, let him go.
You know, Jackson told me that the Black Hills are sacred Indian country. Heap bad medicine for evil men from foreign lands.
They must have heard we were coming. We don't eat Byron.
I don't think we need anybody.
Go back.
I come to help you.
You can't help now.
I gotta work fast. She's still alive?
Yes, but she has no mind.
Nice of the cowboy to leave these things laying around.
What are they?
Very pistols.
What are they for?
They used to fire flares. They can be seen from miles away.
They're going to signal anybody.
Well, we can use them to light the cave, can't we?
Okay.
Small tough. Listen. You still got a chance. Marty's coming. He knows the monster's here. He's gonna get it. It's sucking her blood. Hey! He's coming at me. He's gonna get me. Go away from me! Go on! Go on!
must be here.
How would they know?
I made a very good guess. Stay here.
Be careful, Gillis.
Wiggling, I'll break your neck. Where's the cowboy?
Help me!
I'll take care of both of you.
He forced me to go with him.
So that's how it was, huh?
He did that without a gun.
Let's take it. You lead the way and no tricks. Hold on to her. Good Lord.
Watch out, girl!
Help! Help! Get me out of here. I don't want my mind to be gone. Help! 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 Okay, well, hey, enough of this silly stuff. Let's get back to talking about the movie. Wow, what about that ending? I mean, what's the matter with that? I mean, it's so drastic, so final, such a harsh denouement. I mean, to the film. I mean, just suddenly they just shoot a flare into the beast, or the spider. octopusy thing, and that kills him? I mean, what? Monty Hellman must have been running out of film. I mean, there's so many unanswered questions left for us to explore. I mean, did anybody get out alive? I mean, after that, or was there another beast? Did Byron ever get together with Small Dove? I mean, what happened? And that cave scene was so weird. You know, when they first went in, and remember, as I said earlier, that 10 minutes were refilmed, or 10 new minutes were added for the television premiere of this movie. And that may have been where that weird voice comes in when they're in the cave, and they go, what's the matter with her? And then this voice, discombobulated voice, doesn't seem to belong to anybody, that goes, her mind is gone. That could have been in that 10 minutes they added. I don't know. But obviously they didn't add enough. So I don't know what's going on. But it leaves a lot of unanswered questions. And did you also notice that in classic 50s B-movie tradition, the monster doesn't even materialize until the last 15 minutes of the movie? All you get to see before that is weird spider-webby, goopy stuff and an occasional tentacle or whatever it is. You don't get any payoff till the last 15 minutes. And even then, he's torched right away, so it's just a total anticlimactic anticlimax. There's no explanation ever given as to why the beast from Haunted Cave is, or where it lived before, or where it came from, or what it did, or why it's so pissed off, or, you know, there's no explanation given for any of that. But it seems to me that we never will be given any explanation. Again, it was an extremely quickly shot film, and we've just got to make do with that discombobulated diatribe that I just gave you, and that will have to rest and stand as the perfection of what the movie is. Hey, you probably want to know the answer to our second pop quiz. And that question was, what 1971 Monty Hellman film starred two very famous rock and rollers? What was the name of the film? And for extra credit, what were the name of the two rock and rollers? Well, the name of that film is Two-Lane Blacktop, about three guys going across country in a 51 Chevy. It was a road film, again, sort of an existential, discombobulated, constipated, kind of never-ending road film. And these two characters, Warren Oates was the driver, and then there was the mechanic and somebody else. But the two rock and rollers who were in it, and they are the stars of it, were respectively Dennis Wilson, drummer for the Beach Boys, and folk rocker James Taylor. And that was the film debut for both of them. I don't think either of them did any other major film work. The film sadly did not do well. It was taken out of release almost immediately. It does not show up on TV very often at all. But recently it has risen to kind of cult status due to the sort of cult legend surrounding Dennis Wilson of the Beach Boys, and then also the fact that James Taylor's still around, Monty Hellman's still around, and it's been released on all kinds of deluxe collector's boxes, and there have been various books and articles written about the 1971 road movie, Two-Lane Blacktop. Just to kind of finish up our overview of this movie, let's look at Frank Wolf, who plays the main bad guy in the film. Frank Wolf started his career in Hollywood working for Roger Corman in such films as Ski Troop Attack, Beast from Haunted Cave, Atlas, and The Wasp Woman. At that point, he more or less moved to Italy, as many American character actors did in the 1960s, and starred in the 1966 Django, A Bullet for You. And the Django series was a very, very popular spaghetti western series in the late 60s. It also played drive-ins here in the United States. And another momentous film in Frank Wolf's career is the 1969 Sergio Leone classic western, Once Upon a Time in the West. Wow. Can't get any better than that. And how about Sheila Carroll, who played Gypsy Boulet in the film? I mean, the martini-swilling, sexy hipster. I mean, so great. I mean, and really, I don't think there's any disagreement, class, that Sheila Carroll really gave the standout performance in the movie as the rough mall from the wrong side of the tracks with the heart of gold. Sadly, at least as far as we know, she did not do any other major motion pictures, and we don't know really what happened to her. So Sheila Carroll, if you're watching a public television station right now, call in and get a hold of me and tell us where you are. We'd love to know. Richard Sinatra, who played one of the henchmen, went on acting in films of various quality throughout the 1960s and is probably most famous for having a featured role in the 1965 naval comedy, Mr. Roberts. I think that's about it, boys and girls, students. I think it's time, Igor, to unlatch them all, let them go. I hope you've enjoyed this current episode that we've just had of Schlock Cinema 101. I am your veritable virtual host and teacher and professor and tutorial tutor, Professor Fred Hopkins. I'm delighted you could make it. Use your own door. Unlatch the students. Igor, let them go.
Professor Fred's Movie Marvels is a show you must tune in. It's broadcast every week on SCCtv. It'll make you jump out of your skin. Professor Fred's Movie Marvels. Professor Fred's Movie Marvels. Showing bad horror movies. They're good, but they're so bad. There's a pop quiz after.